Hello my friends, Walter here. In today's vlog we're going to talk about how to prepare collard greens for freezing or for cooking. If you're going to cook them, you prepare them the same way, but you don't have to blanch them because you're going to cook them directly. If you're going to freeze them, you got to blanch them before you freeze them. I by no means any kind of expert on how to do this, but I've been around it being done all my life, and this is the way I do it. And anyway, it'll give you a general idea how most people prepare their collard greens.
I'm on the front porch going to clean some collards today, get them ready for Contrary Mary to blanch. I'll clean them, cut them a little bit, and she can finish them. I got about, I think, 4 sets of plants here. We just pulled them up right out of the ground. The term cutting collards means whacking them off right here at the ground level and leaving this to continue growing. But he just pulls them up down there. Let's see, I got 4 or 5 bunches here. I got 2 tubs here, and I haven't washed them yet. That's why I'm out here on the porch. I think I'll go ahead and get them off the stems and then wash them. Them are some pretty collard greens right there. And what we'll do is cut the main stem out. You can pull it out, but it's not as neat. It doesn't hurt to eat the stems. A lot of people cut them up too, but we don't. You still eat these veins right here. It'd be way too much trouble to cut them all out there, and you wouldn't have much left. But I'll give you an example. Now, you take and cut that up either before or after you blanch it. They'll shrivel up some when you blanch them. I don't want to do it straight. So you wind up with that throwaway. Some of the limbs might be defective or dead or something wrong with them. We won't eat them. But these are some pretty greens. I don't see anything wrong with hardly any of them. I'll take them out to the garden hose at the back and wash them real good. And then she can wash them in the kitchen sink before she blanches them. The collard greens is good. A lot of people say they've never had them or wouldn't want them. They're not like eating spinach. They're more tougher. You definitely don't even taste the same, but they're good for you. When you get your iron and vitamins, eat some turnip greens. And the juice, you boil them in. It's called pot liquor. Well, that's what we called it anyway. Goes good with some cornbread. And my wife's from Philadelphia, and she won't eat a lot of southern type foods. She won't eat no grits. But she will eat the heck out of some collard greens or turnip greens. Turnip greens are more tender and have a little different taste. Collard greens are sort of in the cabbage family. Don't quote me on that, but I think they are. Not that many greens on that bunch. See, this would be throwaway. I haven't seen a single bug on these things, but that's the main reason you want to wash them. You wouldn't want to be eating no bugs. I could pull that heart out, but that ain't enough to worry about. Some pretty greens right there. I'm not no expert cooker, but most cooks will season them with a little meat, a little fat back or bacon or salt pork, put them in that water, and boil them till they're tender, and cut them up. They go good with some cornbread. Ooh. Let's get a dead leaf on there. You can do all of this in the kitchen sink. She likes to keep a neat and tidy kitchen, so it's easier just to do them out here. That looks a little wilty. We don't want that. These are young turnip greens. He hasn't been growing them full size. They haven't grown full size yet, but they're perfect for eating. It's going to be extra tender, really. There's a tradition in the South of eating collard greens for New Year's dinner. Suppose it bring you luck for the rest of the year. Well, I don't know if it's restricted to the South or not. Might be people up north do the same thing. Yes, sirree, Bob. I ain't seen a single bug. I used to keep a garden every year. I've grown broccoli before, like we saw down there in Jack's garden yesterday. I've grown turnip greens, but I didn't do too good last time I grew turnip greens. Planted too early in the year and the bugs eat them up. Turnip greens is more of a fall crop. Anyways, all you got to do is boil them. Put a little salt and flavoring in there. When you serve them on your plate, sprinkle a little pepper sauce or vinegar in there. Spice them up a little bit. Got some good eating. That one's dirty and needs to be washed. We're going to wash them all anyway. I don't like the looks of that one. Throw it away. That was great. I didn't get a lot of collards. That looks like a lot in that container, but when you put them in boiling water, they're going to shrivel right up. We got enough here for 2 or 3 meals, because we don't eat a lot in one setting, just me and her eating here. Got a big family, you probably could eat all of these in one sitting. It had a little sand and dirt on it, but I brushed it off. It's going to get washed. Thinking back in history, you wonder how people knew what to eat. And they probably didn't. Cavemen or somebody way back in the old days decided, I'm pretty hungry. Can't catch a saber-toothed tiger today. So maybe I'll just eat some bushes. Let's cut up some bushes and cook them. Well, actually, I don't think they probably cooked them. They probably eat them raw, just like by watching the animals and stuff to see what they eat. Figure, well, if the buffalo or that dinosaur, not dinosaur, they were before the caveman's time. But if that buffalo or that cow or that horse eats it, it must be good to eat. Got some bug holes on that one. Let's cut them off. I do appreciate my viewers watching my vlogs. I haven't shown anything of great interest lately, but I've had some definite, made a lot of friends out there on YouTube and had some definite support from all of you. Well, that ain't much colored at all. I probably should have got more than that. I'll go wash them off and she can come, when she gets home, she can clean them. I'll sweep up my mess here on the porch. I've got that tub cleaned out. I always pre-wash our greens here. We don't want to be eating a whole lot of sand and crud. You're going to wash them again in the kitchen sink. With any sand or grit, you just rinse it off now, but a lot less mess in the house. Stem, but I'm just ripping them off now. She's gonna cut them better when she cuts them up anyway. I'm just eliminating the stems. You can do a neater job by cutting them, but it takes you 3 times as long.